Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
hello, hello.
Welcome to Sips. Cheers and
Tips
spiders
and
with
spiders. Hold on.
your hosts,
See if
Solange
I
or
can change.
Issa. Solange is my middle name, and that's right.
Sebastian. Hello. I had to just put my spider on here so that we're fully accurate to the name of the show.
Excellent. Yes,
Promised
represent.
sips and spiders, and I will deliver both.
Yes, from the very start, packing that punch. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast. I see Yassine, Rev, David here,
Yo.
Lee in the chat.
No, people from all around the world.
Yes, I'm liking those bug emojis, Yassine. I thought this was an hour later. Yeah, so for some reason, like maybe I misclicked the
I
time
think we
on.
got daylight savings timed.
I think it was a daylight savings glitch. I'm not
We're,
sure
we're, we're
though.
gonna blame it on that.
Yeah, let's do
I'm
that.
gonna blame it on that.
It's like the Y2K. Like, can the computers handle the switch to the 2000s
Yeah.
sort of situation? So, um, yeah,
I learned that on Twitter from I think verified that did you hear the same thing about daylight savings time about like this New Zealand
yes,
entomologist?
yes.
So we have to apologize because apparently some entomologist back in the day was like, "Hey, it's too dark when I go out and I want to catch bugs. So what if we just ruined everyone's life forever? Just why not?" And
Yep,
that apparently worked.
yep. Back in the 1800s in New Zealand is what I saw too.
Yeah, it's in New Zealand.
So
Hey,
cheers,
Yassine, I appreciate the
entomologists.
shout out.
Yeah. So David Yee is saying, "Oh, that kind of sips. I thought sips was a bug I never heard of." Yeah.
You
So
know, it's possible.
it's possible. It rhymes with thrips. So
It does rhyme with
um,
thrips, which I didn't know was a word until very recently. So,
thrips.
doesn't sound thrips. Like I hadn't heard of them until I don't know a few years ago. So, not a thing you'd think
Well,
is
you're
real.
an arachnologist at core, so all
That is
good.
true.
Yeah. And thrips are one of those ones that you don't encounter too much or think about that much. But you think about it probably all the time if you work in a greenhouse. It's one of
Yeah.
those pest species in the greenhouses. So, um, David is saying it was introduced over here to help out with the First World War.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it says my internet connection's unstable. Hopefully, it will
Oh,
stabilize.
yeah. Hopefully, mine will not do bad things.
Yeah,
Comcast people have been, I don't know. Ooh, Molly saying hello from Pittsburgh. Hello,
yeah,
also from Pittsburgh.
neighbors.
Hey,
That's where Sebastian is. So before we dive too deep, and hi David and bye David, thanks for popping by to say hi. Um, thank you. Yeah, any awards given during this session will be split with Sebastian, as I do with my guests here. Hi Rita, and hello Jason. So this special bug scope special, I'll call it. Sebastian and I were thinking because we were talking for 2 hours last time about spiders, and we're not anywhere near done talking about spiders
no.
because they're so awesome. We decided to see about maybe starting a casual series, maybe once a month or every so often, called Sips and Spiders, where it's casual chat about whatever we want to talk about with spiders, and we can make it whatever we want to make it. And we
Yeah.
welcome whoever wants to join us and talk about spiders to share their spider
Did you
stories or
see
ask.
a cool spider? Do you want to see a cool spider? Anything within
Exactly.
that realm? Do you know
Basically,
something cool about spiders? Because I'm always down to learn.
totally. It's just a space on the internet for spiders
We
dedicated
need more
to.
spaces like that.
Exactly. So we're making it happen bit by bit, chipping away. And so the sips refers to hanging out, coffee style chat sort of thing.
Beverages.
Cheers. What are you having today,
I've
Sebastian?
got a blackberry spindrift,
Whoa.
which I didn't realize was a thing. Like blackberry juice is a thing in like Colombia, and I didn't know like people had it here. And
Hmm.
so when Stella bought like a case of this, I was like, oh my god, it tastes like mora, which is blackberry juice in that I'm used to having. It's a
Hmm.
little carbonated, which is fine. I don't really like it, but I'm here for the blackberry. That's what brought me back.
Very cool. Yeah,
What do you
very
got?
cool. I am going with the essence of life, water. So,
Uh,
starting
I
with
thought that was
water.
like a brand. Oh,
No.
I'm drinking the essence of life, the
Yeah,
latest collection.
exactly. Yeah, so starting with water, and then we'll see where I go from there because I'm almost done this cup.
Very good.
Yeah. So we have a direction in the chat from Molly saying, "Let's talk wolf spiders."
Ooh, I haven't seen a good wolf spider in too long.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I mean, it's winter, right? But I saw a jumping spider, but I haven't seen any wolf spiders yet. Hopefully, when it warms up a bit, we'll see them.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
when I think the two things I think of first with bringing up wolf spiders, this is fun too
Hmm.
because it's like connections. What pops up first when someone says
Hmm.
something in the chat related with a spider topic? I think of one, how I remember like last year when it was randomly warm in the middle of winter. I went outside
Hmm.
and I found a couple of insects that were like tucked away, but kind of coming out to take advantage of the sunlight. This was
Yeah.
maybe in February or something, and a couple of those arthropods that I saw were wolf spiders,
Ooh.
which I was
Like
intrigued
inside
about.
the house or like outside?
Outside, backyard.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
So I was
that
like,
is weird to see them
I
that
wonder
early.
what they do for winter. Um,
I I mean they overwinter. They I found actually I guess it wasn't a wolf spider, it was a Dolomedes, so it's like a related but like in like dried leaves, they'd like make a little like nest in there and just kind of cocoon up for the winter.
hmm,
I wouldn't be surprised if wolf spiders did the same thing. Just
yeah.
like find a little place and actually, well, there are the ones that burrow. I keep forgetting about this. So I didn't know that there were burrowing wolf spiders, and there was a point where I got Tigrosa, like one of the bigger wolf spiders that we have around here in Pittsburgh, and I was keeping it for outreach, but I didn't realize that it wanted to burrow, and it was very unhappy because it wanted to like get down, but I was like, "Oh, you're
Mm.
the terrestrial spider." This was
Not very
very
great
early
for you.
on.
You're terrestrial.
Yeah, it was very early on in my spider career before I really like kept them very much. Um, but yeah, they burrow. Like
Hmm.
I thought it was just like the desert ones, but apparently like the Tigrosa, which like live in like damper environments, do also like dig and like to get in there. So
Oh
maybe they
wow.
have burrows if they're
Yeah.
outside.
Cool. Yeah, it's totally underestimated how much the soil and the leaf litter and just like
Mhm.
that top soil layer comes into play
Yeah.
for
Every time I
the
see a place
wildlife.
clearing it out, I'm like, you lost all your like good animals.
Yeah. Don't
You
they
know,
say that the downfall of Rome was the downfall of their topsoil or something like that?
I've never heard that before. I
Okay.
also
Well,
don't
I
know a lot
have.
about Rome, so
You don't know a lot.
maybe
You what
I
about
don't
Rome?
know a lot about Rome. No.
Okay. Ancient Rome. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be clear, of course.
Do you know
And then
like the history behind that? Like what's the story?
I'll have to come back on that. I don't want
Okay.
to be too speculative or make
Yeah.
anything up here. But the other thing that comes to mind too is that I think about their eye shine, which is
Oh
so
yeah.
fun in the summer.
Yeah. We just got a hello from Detroit from Rodman.
Hello,
We're
Rodman.
talking wolf spiders, and
Yeah.
yeah, they I have this really kind of vivid memory of like I think that was the first time I was doing field work and we were like camping out at, like a state park. And so it's like grabbing like in a tent and like there's like the public bathroom like over there and you have to like walk across it, like get my headlamp out in the middle of the night. And then like I remember like turning it on just very slightly and seeing like the field in front of me just light up with like shiny wolf spider eyes. It was very cool because like that they can be
Yeah.
like when you get them the right angle, it's really bright. And I had like no idea that that
Yeah.
many would come out at night.
I highly recommend that experience to anybody who
Yeah.
has Like in the summer, go out, have a headlamp on or something, some flashlight that
You
you
can
hold
also
near
hold
your
a
head, and
flashlight, yeah, like up at eye level.
yeah, and then it looks like hundreds of, sometimes thousands of tiny dewdrops all across the grass, and some might be dew, but much of it
Yeah,
could possibly be spider eyes,
yeah,
looking and glistening beautifully back at you like little jewels in the grass.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard what that, like the people listening haven't heard what that adaptation is, it's the same type of adaptation that you know how like cats and dogs' eyes will like light up if you like take a flash photo. It's the same thing. It's an adaptation for seeing at night. It's called a tapeta lucida, which is basically it's like a very shiny mirror at the back of the eye, and it's behind the retina. It's behind the cells that actually would catch the light. And so when there's such little light, like at night, there's actually a chance that the light will just pass in the gaps between the photoreceptors, like between the cells, and so they wouldn't see it. But that mirror in the back bounces the light back through the retina, and so the eye basically has a second chance to catch any light that it missed. But it also means that if you shine a light directly at it, it's super shiny. I might actually have. Do I have a pinned wolf spider? I'll sit. Hold on. I
Take a
might
look.
have a pinned wolf spider.
Sure. Um, so hi Benny, good to see you. Glad you saw a spider and were kind to your spider friend. Um, and that makes me so happy that you say that like chatting with me and
Oh
everything
yeah, there we
has
go.
brought you to love spiders. Hi Pablo. Spider Man says the dark physicist on Twitch. How's it going?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm rocking a bunch of Spider-Man stuff as usual.
yeah.
Let's see here.
And Molly's saying, I was bitten twice last summer. There seems to be a lot in my backyard, which is very interesting since um,
Yeah,
how did you get bit by them?
yeah.
And
I'm.
are you sure that
Thank
it
you.
was them that bit you? Like, did you see it happen? Yeah. Now Molly's saying, wolf spiders are awesome hunters. I spent an hour watching one
Pursue a
pursue
squash
a
beetle.
squash beetle.
Well, what's a squash beetle
Interesting.
look like? I gotta look that up. Squash
I think
beetle.
and I'm thinking of cucumber beetle. So maybe I need to look that up
Oh,
too.
it looks. Well, I'm getting like two different things. I'm getting a squash beetle, which is looks like a type of like ladybird beetle, and then I'm getting a squash bug, which is looks like it's a one of those
A little plant bug or
brown
something.
marmorated kind of deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if I can show off this little wolf spider though. I do have in my like very paltry spider collection
Here, I'll make you
two
bigger.
of these Tigrosa wolf spiders, which
Can you
I
hold
don't
it
know.
back a tiny bit? Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Now it's, and then hold it down.
Um,
Yeah, like
yeah.
that.
There we go. I don't know if it'll
Cool.
do it.
Your hands in focus since our
Oh,
technology
my
is
hands in focus.
human bias, but it
Yeah,
wasn't focused for a moment there.
let me try have my like backup macro lens here. We can do the thing. I I don't have my like camera plugged in like last time, so we can't go super fancy with it. But
Yeah.
I believe I can do my low tech version, which is what I usually do. But yeah, I used to see these a lot. If anyone is from the Pittsburgh area and they know Pymatunig, which is like far north of, I guess not far, like 2 hours north of Pittsburgh. Uh, in the summers, the University of Pittsburgh has a field station there, and I'd work as like a TA to get paid during the summer. And they had so many wolf spiders. It was really cool.
Mhm.
Like you could find them super
Awesome.
easy. All right, let's see if we have enough lighting. Let's give this a try. I'm gonna give this a try.
Yeah, why not?
I'll
Yeah.
get up close and personal for a second.
Yeah. Wolf
And now,
spiders.
oh, go
While
ahead.
Sebastian's setting this up, I'll just share a couple other tidbits about wolf spiders. Wolf spiders are in the family Lycosidae, for people who are not familiar with them, and they what's a fun thing about them is that the moms carry the egg sacs around with them, and when the babies hatch, they all crawl up on the mom's abdomen. I'll just do this
Yeah.
until I focus. They crawl up on the mom's abdomen and then hang on until they're a little bit older. So it's very cute, and they have specialized hairs that help the babies hold on to the mom. It's a little. Can you bring it a little closer to the lens?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay,
It's
cool.
we're working real delicate here. There we
Yeah, yeah.
go.
Gotta be careful. They're very fragile. Cool. Now you can see those big eyes.
Yeah,
And
so maybe let
go
me try to
ahead.
get more light on it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Um,
helpful. That's very helpful.
yeah, so you might be able to see one of the ways that you can identify a wolf spider, because there are actually a lot of spiders that kind of have similar markings and body shapes that have fooled me a lot. It's looking at their eyes. So wolf spiders, you're gonna
Mm,
notice like two really, really big eyes in the middle of their head. And then beneath that, they're going to have four little eyes that kind of look like a frowny face, or I call it a mustache sometimes. It's a little like four eyes beneath those two biggest ones. Maybe if I get the light just right,
yeah.
we can see them on this
So
one.
many. So other spiders like herb weavers will have much smaller eyes overall, but the wolf spiders, since they do use their eyesight more, have over time developed larger eyes in the front.
Yeah, and it's those two really, really
Very nice.
big ones that are the I believe those are the ones that are yeah, because they're the big eyes on a wolf spider are the PMEs, I think, which are the tiny eyes on a jumping spider. That's how I remember. Um,
Oh
so
wow, cool.
yeah, yeah, they're not the same as the big eyes. So spider eye thing. Spiders have 8 eyes, and they're organized in 4 pairs. But not all of them like work the same way. Like they're not all structured the same way. And so some eyes are better at seeing certain types of things than others. And in like different groups of spiders, like different types of eyes have become like the large ones in the cases where it's like a yeah, so you see that the top right, the jumping spider, and has two really big
Yeah,
eyes. Evolutionarily, like if you look at the um the inside of the eye and like what it looks like, those are not the same as the two big eyes on a wolf spider. They are not related um, eye parts. I
that's
think
really cool.
they might be the two down in the middle below, because it's yeah, I think they're the two like in the center part of the eye mustache. Let me see if I can get
Eye
the
mustache.
female. Yeah, the female's a little larger, so we might be able to see more.
Yeah. Betty says, I see four eyes while eight. Yeah. So spiders vary from having eight. Is eight's typical, right,
8
Sebastian?
is yeah, typical. 8 is
And then
standard.
maybe
Most
six is
have
the second common.
Yeah, most have 8. Several have 6. I think there's definitely 2-eyed, and I don't know if there's 4-eyed.
Two-eyed. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never
there's
heard of four-eyed.
some very small ones in particular um,
Mhm.
are 2-eyed because their heads are so tiny that like there's just room for 2 eyes basically.
Mhm.
We
And
got plenty
I'm
of.
guessing there must be ones that have no eyes, like in
Oh yeah,
caves.
yeah, yeah. There are cave
Okay.
spiders that don't have eyes at all anymore.
Yeah.
They once
Wow.
did.
That's definitely weird to think about, but like that's common in cave animals or common uh, thing that happens with cave animals. And spiders are very equipped for that from the start because they're so in tune with vibrations.
Yeah, and
Um,
like they taste a lot of things with their legs, so they can navigate that
mhm.
way. Frank asks a really interesting question. How do we
Yeah.
know what color ranges spiders see? And it actually depends on the type of spider. So I don't know what's standard for non-jumping spiders. I can say in jumping spiders, most jumping spiders see at least ultraviolet light and green light. And then several groups of jumping spiders can see more color, well, more types of light than that. So there are jumping spiders that can see red light, that have like kind of 3 photoreceptors, and then like things like peacock spiders have more photoreceptors. So theoretically, they'd be more sensitive to smaller differences in color. But it really varies. You can go from having um, similar or less color vision. There are plenty of spiders I think don't necessarily have color vision. I imagine stuff that are like really just active at night. But they probably are at least sensitive to ultraviolet light, which humans aren't. So that is one thing that they most will at least have that we don't.
Cool. Hi, John Kenneth. How are you doing? And Pablo's asked, how do they navigate without eyes? And I think we answered that question with talking about vibration and
Yeah.
also tasting. So chemoreceptors, and then also all those hairs on their body are very
There we go.
sensitive.
Now it's nice and focused. Yeah, and then they will. There are some spiders that will like feel around for stuff as
Yeah,
they're walking too. That's pretty. I wouldn't say, especially for something that's like really not visual. That's pretty normal.
yeah. This is a cool view, Sebastian. It looks so dramatic with the lighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any other like lamp, so I'm just using my like phone
Oh
light
yeah,
to
nice.
try to put some light on it.
It works.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a wolf spider.
Yeah. Hello, wolf
Take it.
spider. And
Yeah.
that's a female wolf spider. I'm
Yeah, this
guessing
is a
she's older than
female Tigrosa. So they're the
Tigrosa's the genus.
yeah, they're I think the common name is like tiger wolf spider, which is very confusing.
Okay.
But
Is the stripe?
um yeah, it's that they have that like one stripe at the top of their head that you can kind of see in between the eyes.
Hmm.
In around here, at least in Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania, they're the ones I see more often, I think. But I'm also really bad at identifying like this from some of the other big wolf spiders. Because we
Yeah.
technically have Hogna, which is the biggest one. We have that genus here, and they can be really big. Um, I remember the first time that I saw this wolf spider, I was like, "Oh, it's definitely oh yeah, that should put it back in focus. It's definitely a Hogna because I didn't realize how big wolf spiders can get, but the biggest wolf spiders can be like easily like 2 or 3 times this size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
they're the big ones that's the big ones that people oftentimes find in their basements too. That or fishing spiders.
yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
fun fact. This is one from one of my outreach shows that I would do is I would have a game for kids. It was like a Harry Potter type event, and I would ask
Mhm.
them to try to figure out what kind of spider um, Aragog, the like spider from the Harry Potter franchise, was. And you can tell based on the eye pattern that it is just a very, very big wolf spider because it has the same
I
wolf
think
spider eye pattern.
oh that's so cool. Yeah, that's a fun, very famous spider right there.
Mm.
um, Frank is saying, oh, first of all, John Kenneth is saying, I remember the jumping spider on one of your scopes, Isa. Yeah, I have two more that
Ooh, we got jumpers.
I need to find food for them because they're like so small and
Yeah, that's the annoying thing about
I'm
keeping
too scared
jumpers
to
is
show you right
like
now. So I have to figure out how to bring it out. But
I
they're
saw a
like a
jumping spider the other day, but I like didn't have anything with me to catch it, which is kind of embarrassing.
there's the
Oh
one.
yeah, that's a good size. It's like a Phidippus maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll send you a
Yeah.
picture later,
It
I
look. I mean,
guess.
yeah, it's hard to say. It looks kind of like it might be a Phidippus just because of size,
Okay.
but I that's like I'm like squinting at it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Frank asked if they can handle high brightness situations, and it really depends on the spider. If it's a daytime spider, like a jumping spider, they actually need a lot of light to see well. Actually, but the genus that I studied, this one, the paradise jumping spiders, um, below a certain level of light, they actually can't tell the difference between red and green because they see red in a really weird way that requires a lot of light. Um, but yeah, it depends on what the animal's adapted for. You know, spiders that are adapted for being out in the day will be able to handle that. Spiders that never come out in the day don't like it.
Oh.
Like my tarantulas do not like the bright lights. They will hide. Because they're really not like, at least some of them I've noticed more than others will
Oh,
only
hello.
come out in like the dim light. Are you still there, Isa?
Yeah. Did I get lost for a moment, or
There was
did you
there was
get
like
lost
a
for a
there was like a
moment?
blip.
Or maybe,
There was like a blip.
yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Um, I was just watering my spiders, make sure they're at least hydrated while I find them some food.
Oh, good.
Oh, here. Kate. Oh, hi, Caitlin. How are you? Caitlin on Facebook is saying Mad Eye Moody's spider from the Harry Potter movies was an amblipigid.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
yeah. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
so
they
cool.
didn't even
The
like it
telescope
was just
spoken.
it, oh, sorry. Go ahead. We talked over
No,
each
go
other.
ahead, Sebastian.
Oh, I was gonna say that like it's funny that like they're like, oh, we need to make like this magical creature, and they just put an amblipigid, like it's a real life animal that just exists. Like you can just go find them if you live in the right place in the world and you just like go out. They're like, no, this is, we can't add anything to this. It's like too much.
Yeah, yeah, like the amplitude telescope scorpion is already like so not known enough, but like a strange and odd like
Yeah,
animal. It's just yeah, funny how they just chose a regular animal and nothing changed to it.
and there's
Yeah,
yeah, that's fine.
brought it on as a magical beast. Very fun.
Zero effort.
Yeah. Chicken on Biscuits on Periscope is saying Boris the Spider was famous also. I wonder what type he was. I'm not familiar with Boris the Spider.
Yeah, that's
Do you know
new to me.
who's Boris from, or where is Boris? Lucas the
Teaches oh,
Spider,
teaches many
of course,
things.
was a salticid. Jumping Spider is,
Yeah.
and then um, Jason Stewart Clark is saying, "What does genus mean in the context of spiders?" Do you want to answer that, Sebastian? Or-
Yeah, it means so genus, it means the same for any animal. It's basically one of the ways that we group animals based on how related they are. So every single like type of animal is a species. Um, and then species that are closely related to each other are in the same genus. And it works the same for any animal, whether it's spiders or um, you know, dogs, cats, birds, stuff, other things like that.
Yeah,
Bacteria, every type of life is in the same system.
yeah.
Um,
So, one acronym to remember the order of the branches of the tree of life, which go kingdom, phylum, class, order,
order, family,
one family, yeah, genus, species,
yeah.
is kings play chess on fuzzy green stools. This is the
Okay.
way that I was taught.
Can
So I'll write it in the chat here on Haps. Play chess on fuzzy green stools. And so that um, translates to, yeah, KPCOFGS, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. And the genus and
Yeah.
species together are what make the species name.
Hmm.
Um, and that last part is called the species epithet. And then, but together, genus and the species epithet make up the species. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Hello, John. How's it going?
Thanks
Oh,
for looking
Boris the
over here.
Spider is a Who song. We'll have to
Oh,
look into that. We'll that'll be our homework, Sebastian.
I
Um,
yeah, I've like listened to a few songs by The Who back in the day, but I'm not familiar with that one. It's coming up on
Yeah.
Wiki. Oh, I see it. All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah. We'll check it out and we'll discuss it during the next Sips and Spiders
We could do
event.
a spider theme, like spider music review. Like
Sure.
we have to listen
Yeah.
to a song ahead of time with the spider, and then we're like, okay, how do we like it? I don't know if we
Yeah.
can do it on air because like
We could
copyright,
probably we
but
could probably do a clip of it on air, and
yeah,
because we're adding educational content to it, that also helps with any licensing conflict or whatever because we're adding and making it into a teachable moment. So
yeah.
yeah. John Kenneth is saying, do spiders and other insects actually sleep or just when not hunting or doing whatever they do for fun?
Multi-part
Would you like to
question.
take that one?
I'll take the
Yeah.
first part. I'll take the part about spiders and other insects. So this is
Okay.
one of the coolest things that I know about these animals, and I want to tell everyone. So spiders are actually like a completely different thing from insects. Like like really, really, really different. Like you are more close, like you, everyone watching now, are more closely related to birds, lizards, frogs, um, sharks, lamprey, fish, literally all of those animals. You're more closely related to all of them than any spider is to any insect.
Wow,
So
that's pretty
last
cool.
time that spiders and insects shared any DNA was over 500 million years ago.
Wow, that's
So
a
they're
really
like
cool
really
fact,
different.
Sebastian.
It's my favorite. It's maybe my favorite fact.
Yeah, that's new. That's like I haven't really thought that much about that. Yeah, that's really
But they're
cool.
so different. Yeah. No, I didn't realize. I didn't think they would be that different. I just knew like, oh,
Yeah.
they're different, but they are like radically different types of life in
Uh-huh.
kind of every single way, besides the fact that they have an exoskeleton.
Would you
Um,
say that would you say that they're rather convergent though with insects because of
in
being
some way,
terrestrial arthropods?
they're both terrestrial
Mhm.
arthropods. There's some things that they have both evolved to have. So the breathing systems. So a lot of insects breathe through like the spiracles, little like openings in the side of their body, and most spiders don't have that, but some of them
Mhm.
have evolved little openings like an insect's breathing system, but their body plans are like very different.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think yeah, it'd be pretty cool to put together like a side by side body plan comparison because that
If we
yeah.
could get like there's like a really good cross section of it. I'll see if I can pull it up. There's like a really
Okay.
nice figure. It's like a cross section of a spider, and if you can get like a cross section of an insect, and you will see that like all the things are in different places.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Um,
But there was a
so
second part to that question that we should answer because
okay. In
it
one
was a
moment
cool
I just
question.
want to say that Frank is adding Ziggy Stardust and the spiders from Mars. Not familiar with that. And
That sounds
then
familiar though. I feel like I've heard that title somewhere.
Molly says, not even Spider-Man. I'm not quite sure what that is in reference to, but I can tell you that HAPS is working on the comment delay that we experience. So
Oh,
I'm very excited about them getting comments to be a little closer with the
that would be
discussion.
nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I know that Periscope was really good at that. And Caitlin said King Philip came over for green spaghetti. What's that? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's her acronym. Okay, that's her
yeah,
acronym. So I
yeah,
play chess on fuzzy green stools, and another one for kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species is King Philip came over for green spaghetti. Yeah, there's a couple different
yeah.
versions out there. Yeah. Um, okay, and then the second part of that question to go back and hello Abyss, how's it going? Um, oh, but to before we diverge too much from what you were just sharing with us, Sebastian, about how related they all are, is David saying, what about spiders and harvestmen, and when did they diverge in evolution terms?
I could pull it up, but they are more closely related to each other. So they're both arachnids, which is the class.
Same class.
It's the class that they're both in. And so they are decently different. I have to pull up the like phylogeny of the arachnids to see
Okay.
where they place, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't guess where harvestmen go compared to spiders. Okay, so next one out from spiders is, oh geez, I don't even know my spider, my
All right, you
arachnid
know what I have my
phylogeny.
computer on right now? I bet you it's
Yeah.
in here. I have my book literally resting. Now it's gonna be lower on this
Oh.
book, which probably has the answer in it. Maybe not
Okay,
because it's
okay, I've got a
specifically in
phylogeny
this,
up.
but
Okay, I found it. So
okay, cool.
the
I'll put this back
next
under
so
my computer.
the closest group to spiders is possibly amblypygids. And then, which makes sense if you look at fossil spiders from a long, long time ago. Um, well,
Yeah.
I guess amblypygids don't have it either, but fossil spiders had like a little like a tail like you see on vinegaroons, which makes sense because the next group out is the vinegaroons. But harvestmen are like way out. They are more closely related to scorpions. Actually, let's see how up to date this is. Yeah, they're more closely related to scorpions than they are to spiders, which I guess makes sense. If you look at the mouth parts of harvestmen and scorpions, I do have a harvestman, but I don't know if it'll like hold up to like getting the camera in there. But they have the same type of mouth part. They're like little food scissors. So where a spider has fangs, scorpions and opilionids, which are the harvesters, have little like food scissors they use to like cut up food, and they can actually eat solid food, which spiders cannot. So I guess that is one similarity that they have, though in their body plan they are quite different.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, David is saying you were just hoping to have a nice drink and chat, and we're making you do research. Sorry, but I'm
Honestly, this
saying
is fun.
exactly. That's yeah, yeah. We have fun doing this, which is why we don't mind. Yeah. Um,
I wonder if I can get a.
and
I
we
should
enjoy
have a phylogeny up
this.
here of the arthropods, which is always really fun.
Oh, like to show on screen, you're saying?
Yeah, I
Cool.
can share screen on this, right? We have that
Um,
technology.
I haven't figured that out yet. That might be.
Oh,
Oh, wait, I think it is
well, I can
possible, but I
screenshot
haven't
it.
learned how to do it yet. And you can upload the photo. There is a present button, and so.
Oh, very mysterious.
Oh yeah, totally. You can share screen.
Oh,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can't. I have that
learning things
technology.
new.
Okay, sweet. Where's the
Wow.
button? Where's the
It's
button?
down. It's down next to
I see
the
it. Okay,
very bottom of
present.
the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
And
but
I also can I backtrack for a moment and say
yeah.
that Molly was talking about Spider-Man. So I'm guessing that the whole relatedness between Spider-Man when it comes to
Mhm.
humans and how closely related to spiders, and then where does
Oh,
Spider-Man fit into that, is that
yeah.
maybe there's
Okay,
sort of horizontal gene transfer
that is what that
that
would be. Yeah,
fuses,
yeah,
yeah, the two branches of the tree together through
yeah.
Spider-Man. But then the
That is
question is,
a very good point. I never thought about that.
when Spider-Man has offspring, does that continue or is it
Presumably,
lost?
yes. I mean, oh,
I hope so.
actually it's unclear because you don't know whether it's just his body
Mm,
cells or the gamete forming cells, which
right.
like normally do not interact with each other, right? So it's why like if you get like skin cancer on your arm, you don't pass on necessarily that gene or like
Right.
that cancer because that's a cell in your arm and not a cell in your I guess testes or ovaries, right?
Yeah.
Um
Right.
but so it really depends on how much of his body was affected by it, whether it I guess affected his gamete producing cells or not, which uh, I don't. I think in the comics there might be an offspring of Spider-Man, but I
I'm
don't
not sure.
know actually.
But it would help. It would. I think I like to hope that it does continue to the next generation because that sounds fun.
Ideally.
So cheers to that idea. Um, hello, the Goose of Wild popping in from Twitch. We are talking about anything spiders. So if you have spider questions, you can ask us. My name is Isa Betancourt, host of the Bug Scope, which occurs every Thursday. But now, me and Sebastian, who is a spider researcher, just got his PhD last year studying spiders' vision and communication. We're starting up a new series, which the frequency has yet to be determined, where we talk anything spiders, casual chit
Yeah.
chat, have a drink, sit down, chill, yeah,
See where the
sort of thing. So
conversation
welcome
takes
to that.
us.
Exactly. Uh,
The Goose is dropping Spider-Man knowledge, though. Apparently, there is a Spider-Man's daughter, Annie Mae Parker, um, which is great. I am not familiar with that series, I guess.
yeah,
But that's
that's more
awesome. I
homework
guess
for
it
Sebastian.
was it. Did they have the spider powers? Is that's what I'm asking, Goose? Did
That's the
Annie
biggest
get it?
question.
Get the spider powers?
Yeah, please let us know. Um, yeah, and then I also do want to share that uh, if someone wants to come up on the broadcast with us to share their own spider story, we do welcome that. If you're not on HAPS, then it means you'll have to come over to join us on HAPS. But you can share your spider stories obviously in the chat. But if you did want to hop on screen, we welcome that too.
Yeah, if you want to show a cool spider,
And
you
Goose,
got just talk. Yeah, Goose is dropping the
yeah,
Spider-Man
totally.
knowledge. Yeah, I know there's a lot of Spider-Man continuities. I've dipped into some of them, just for researching when I've done stuff about spiders and Spider-Man. But I admit that there's more than I have the ability to get into.
Oh yeah, good
Chasing the
question.
globe. I'm hoping that congrats is for the fact that I got my PhD or just my general existence. I'll take it for both.
I think, but yeah, cheers. So John Kenneth is bringing up a good point too. Is Spider-Man offspring more likely born like normal children or from an egg sac? And I'd say probably like normal children because I
Yeah.
don't know of a Spider Woman, unfortunately, but there ought to
There
be one.
there's several. That much I know is there's several. But yeah, it would depend on that. I mean, it seems like they retain human reproductive systems. So you could still have a kid. I feel like it'd be really annoying to I don't want to get into thinking through how would this work if they were creating eggs, because spiders have to lay out their eggs in the egg sac and then they wrap it up and then they carry it around where they sit next to it for the incubation period. That seems annoying.
Yeah. Oh wow, Goose of Wild knows it all. Mayday Parker, May Parker, Benji Parker, Claire Parker, Ashley Barton, Tanya Parker, Richie Parker. However,
Oh
there's two
geez, you
spider sac birth children. What? And there's a man spider saga in which it's a spider with man powers.
okay?
Wow.
Is that the one where it's
So
a bunch of spiders that are working together to be one dude? Because I've seen that. I've seen Spiders Man, or maybe I'm confusing them because that's it's just a bunch of, maybe it was a joke comic. I don't know. I've seen it.
I am not aware of any of this. So thank you for bringing it to my attention.
There's a lot of weird Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah. Sparks the imagination.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of other questions rolling in here.
Oh, cool.
It sounds like the Goose of Wild maybe ought to join us sometime to talk about these Spider-Man topics in the future. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that'd be fun.
yeah. Frank is saying, what's the earliest recorded spider spider
Science.
science, or maybe spider and science. And what do they look at?
Oh,
Spiders.
like
Oh, just
what kind
spider
of
science in
science?
general.
Ooh, this is a good one. Do you know
Right.
this one,
I'm
Issa?
gonna. I don't, but I'm gonna go get another uh, drink to sip on
Sip.
as we chat,
Okay.
Sebastian. And
Okay.
but you can get started on that question. BRB.
Okay. So this is a secret that I'm
And
going to tell everyone. It's a secret. Um, so they say that Carl Linnaeus was the first person to create a like ranked system, like a hierarchical system for naming animals that had like the genus and the species, and then like a rank of family above that, and so on. But actually, the first person to do that was the spider scientist. So there was a European spider scientist who created a very
spider
similar
who?
system. Let me see if I can get the name of the person. There's a scientist. Spider first taxonomist. Google search. There's a they said like instead of Linnaeus being the first person to make a Linnaean system for ranking like categorizing animals based on their relatedness or similarities. I think I found the guy. Yeah, Carl Alexander Clerk in 1757 published the first binomial scientific name, so like genus species names, for 67 spiders. 1 year before Linnaeus added,
Ooh.
like, started doing that in his like Systema Naturae, which was like his big like this is how we're going to organize all the animals book. Um, So what they do is they fudge the number on the Clark publication because there are spiders that are described there that it's like that's the original time where anyone like wrote anything down about that um uh that uh that spider. But the rule is like, oh no, it starts with Linnaeus, so they all have to be so they fudge the number on the Clerk, Carl Alexander Clerk research to make it look like it comes right after Linnaeus, but it came before.
Wow.
So that's your little
True
conspiracy
trivia.
theory for the day. It's not a
Yeah.
conspiracy theory, it's just like recorded fact. But you know.
Wow.
So I don't know if that
Yeah.
was the first spider science, but it was the first like modern one, I guess.
Hmm. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Scandals. Ah. Sip, spiders, and scandals with Sebastian and
Ooh,
Solange.
ooh, scandals.
Yes.
I don't know if
No,
I'm sure there are other spider scandals. I mean,
probably.
yeah, don't want to get into like Jonathan Pruitt's data,
Hmm. Not familiar with that.
snafus to call it lightly. That's another episode of this show, perhaps.
Okay.
No, I
Sounds
don't really
good.
have the time to go into it. There's like blog posts you can catch up on that if you want to.
Right. John Kenneth is saying Clark needed a better publicist to
Oh,
get his name out. Publicist.
I
Yeah,
mean, people
totally.
know him. It's just like it's like spiders, right? So like back. I mean, like I'm pretty sure Linnaeus put like spiders in like the same group of things as like worms.
Yeah,
Because he
it was.
just kind of like. Mhm. Oh no,
I
he put
saw.
them in insects. He put them in
Yeah,
insects originally.
I saw a copy of that book at the Academy of Natural Sciences. There's
Yeah.
a copy in the archives, which was like so cool to see.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's like amazing how the organization, it just like baffles you knowing what we know now to see
Some of
how
it's
it was
close, and
initially
then some of
organized.
it's like just like all
Yeah, and the
right.
names and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
David says he's trying to find his spider folklore book now.
Ooh,
Oh, cool.
cool.
Yeah, please, maybe in the future episode, you can read us a story from there or share a story from there. Hello, Annie. How are you doing over in Lisbon? And hello, Mike. Any lantern? Mike says, any lantern flies in your office? I don't have any here. I'm also up in Michigan right now, and they haven't reached Michigan. But because they haven't reached Michigan, and I oftentimes go between Philly and Michigan by car because it's COVID, so not flying.
Mm-hmm.
I am careful to check to make sure I'm not bringing any hitchhikers with me because that would
Oh,
be
that's good.
yeah.
That's a long drive.
Yeah, it is,
Oh,
but
jeez.
it's about the same amount of time with flying. Um,
Oh, like with the
when it
airport and stuff
comes
like that.
down, yeah, to driving to the airport, waiting for your flight, and all of those
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things. And it's COVID too, of course.
Yeah,
And
of course.
plus, by driving, one of these times, perhaps you and I can meet up and have the
Yeah,
Sips
we
and
talked about that.
Glitters in person, since you're
That'd
in
be so
Pittsburgh.
cool. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, when it's
Yeah.
warmer and there's spiders out.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe we can talk about Abyss's question here. Oh,
Cool.
wait, no.
Yeah, I didn't see it. What's the question?
Scientifically speaking, though, there needs to be a viral agent to cause accelerated oh, my
Oh,
connection.
yeah. Yeah, I talked about this. I was on a podcast called Marvels of Science. It's like a talking about MCU
Oh, cool.
characters with scientists that study like their namesakes or whatever. We talked it through there, but yeah, the way that I head canon how the radioactive spider works, it's that it's someone has like genetically engineered a spider that has some sort of um, a system in it that like will inject in its DNA and like you said, um, what call it like let's transpose it, but like basically like copy paste it into. I'm trying to use simpler words. Copy paste it into the genome of whatever it bites, which is like goofy, but it at least makes more sense than just the spider was radioactive. Back in the day, you could just be like radioactive. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
drop that link. It's on my website, but I'll find
Oh,
it.
it's on your website. Okay,
Yeah, it's but I got it.
cool. And yeah,
Uh,
so we can touch upon a couple more questions, but since we're hitting an hour now, then we can wrap it up and continue this discussion during our next time.
cool. Yeah, it sounds good. Let's get the last questions.
Okay.
I okay. I think I can post it. Yeah, there it is. We talked about it.
Wait, and while I'm mentioning the next time, do you want to do the third Tuesday of every month or something?
That sounds fun. It
Okay,
sounds like a
because
nice schedule.
the next one is
The
Tuesday the 20th.
20th. I mean, it's clear. I got nothing going on. That's fine. Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Okay, cool. For now, until yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks for sharing that link. Okay,
Yeah.
so the last two questions we're going to touch upon now are from fossil records or collections, what was the biggest found or discovered? The biggest spider found or the biggest discovery?
Ooh.
But I'm guessing you mean the biggest spider.
What was the large? So okay. There's two answers. Oh, I guess there's one. Well, there's one answer, but then there's a story.
Ooh.
I mean, you can handle you've got the like biggest spider. You're.
Wait,
I'll tell the
like
story.
tarantula? Like the
Yeah.
Goliath
Well, yeah.
bird-eating tarantula? Or do you mean like a true spider?
It's a contested title.
Both.
So
Ooh.
the largest by weight recorded is
Mm-hmm.
Theraphosa blondie, the Goliath tarantula. I don't like to call them bird eaters because I don't eat birds. I know
Yeah, not a
that's already.
primary food staple.
That next time you'll hear Sebastian's rant about tarantula common names. But for now, I'll just say I just call them Goliath tarantulas because that's an accurate name. Um, that's the heaviest and very close to the longest by leg span, but it is just barely beaten out by. It's a huntsman spider from like Southeast Asia called Heteropoda maximus, I think. And it's like just over 12 inches or so in leg span, and like just barely. The biggest one of those is just barely larger in leg span than the Theraphosa, than the tarantula. But it's very close. And the huntsman weighs like way less. It just has very long legs.
I see. That's the whole contested part. It's like, what are you
Yeah.
measuring here?
Yeah.
Cool.
big, like what's biggest, right?
Yeah, that's how it
Um,
is with moths and butterflies too. Like I think the Atlas moth has the biggest wingspan.
mhm.
Sorry, biggest wing area.
Oh,
But I think I don't remember which has the biggest wingspan off the top of my head, but I think it might be one of the birdwing butterflies, but I'm not totally sure.
hmm.
Or
Where
maybe
it's
a
just the
spindrift.
farthest apart out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, that kind of makes me
Uh,
wonder. I don't have an answer to this, but it makes me wonder if spiders have trended towards becoming larger or if have been trending to becoming smaller
yeah.
overall. But that's also a complicated question because of species speciation, of course.
Yeah. I mean, like, there are a lot of super tiny spiders, and there are fewer large spiders, is all I can say to that. But I don't know, like,
Okay.
historical sizes of spiders. No
Hmm.
dinosaur-sized spiders, John. There was a point where we thought that the largest spider was this is goofy because it's still in its scientific name. Um, there was a fossil that people found, and they called it Mega Arachne, big spider, mega spider, and it was thought to be like the biggest possible spider. It was huge, 21 inches in body length. Um, and then someone was like, "Oh wait, let's take a closer look at that." And they actually found like, "Oh no, if we just take a closer look at that fossil, that's not a spider. It's like very
Mm.
much not a spider. It's actually a sea scorpion, like an
Uh,
extinct group of arachnids um, that look really cool, but like we're not spiders." And so
wait,
that
so
for
it
a
wasn't
while
even
was, oh, go ahead, yeah.
it
Question?
wasn't even like a crustacean. It was an
No.
arachnid that was in the water.
Yeah, yeah. There's a sea scorpion.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
Euryptid, which are very cool. The funny thing is, like, for a while it was thought to be the spiders. There's like if you go to the Wikipedia page for this thing, first of all, its genus name is still Mega Arachne, even though it's not a spider. They just like didn't change it. But
That's
there's like museum reconstructions that are like that reconstruct as a spider that are just like very wrong.
okay.
Um, like there's like a model. There's a picture of like someone built like a big model of it like as a spider. Um, but it's definitely not that.
Oh.
And this thing lived. When did it live? What's our time period here? 300 million years ago. So
Wow.
around the time of some of the earliest spiders, the earliest spider fossil. It's in that ballpark. Um, yeah, the earliest almost spider fossil is about 300 million years ago. Um, so it's something that like is likely closely related to spiders, but went extinct. Um, so around that time period, the spider thing was starting to kick off, but there weren't like really spiders yet. But they're
Yeah.
around.
Cool. Um, what's it called? Oh, so the other question, the final question that we'll answer is from Jason Stewart Clark saying, "So do spiders spread any diseases?"
Hmm.
Um,
I
I don't know
can't.
if that word came, I don't know what that word was supposed to be. Um, amongst themselves, among themselves, is that what it is? Or
Oh, amongst themselves,
I'm
maybe.
guessing if you can confirm that, that will be really
If it
helpful.
if it is amongst themselves, then
I
the
think
answer
it's
is definitely yes.
okay. Yeah, that happens in pretty much any organismal group, I'd say.
Yeah. There's a
Um,
researcher, Nick Kaiser. I think he's at the University of Florida now. He was at Pitt when I started my PhD. Um, and he studies some disease transmission in spiders. So there can be like bacteria and stuff on spiders' bodies that, when they come into contact with each other, will rub off on the other spider. So that's one way.
Yeah, there's also probably mites that come from one
Mm-hmm.
spider to another spider
Yeah,
through contact.
parasites.
The thing is that, yeah, spiders, since they're pretty solitary, are not as probably, they'd probably carry less than maybe other organisms do, I'd say, that are more gregarious.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah. Um, oh, and then
Sorry,
David
now
is
I'm on
saying,
like
reminds me of,
fossil spider wormhole. If people notice, I'm like
oh, you are. Yeah,
touching
casual.
weird
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, since you're on that, David said reminds me read the dinosaur situation and fossils and things. Reminds me of the dinosaur models that used to be in one of the London parks and had things like
Yeah.
claws on their noses because they just didn't know how they fit together.
Were those like the, what are they called? Like the
Yeah.
crystal palace dinosaurs? Is those the ones that I'm thinking of? It was like an exhibit where they made these big dinosaur models. But yeah,
I don't
they were like not they're just real goofy.
know. Yeah. Anyway. Um, oh, here. Jason is
Yeah,
saying Crystal Palace dinosaurs. I live 2 miles from them. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Okay, cool.
I'm
That
not
is
familiar
fun.
with them. Hmm. Cool. Um, yeah, so we've hit an hour now, including our delayed start time. So, oh, here, one more comment that's fun too. John Kenneth saying, was picturing a T-Rex sized web, lol. That would be something,
Um,
wouldn't it?
I mean, if you count communal webs, then yes, we have that now. Um, there are spiders that build like connected webs. Like I'll
Yeah.
have a web, and then Issa will be next to me, and she'll have a web, and the person down
Yeah.
there will have a web, and we'll all be like hanging out. There are
Yeah.
spiders that do that, and they
Yeah.
are like, the webs are huge. Like you just cover things. So if you
Look up
count that, then
colonial spiders.
mhm.
Yeah, look up colonial spiders, and then you'll get images. And that's like most spiders are on their own, but there are some that live colonial lives and some that do live
Mhm.
together in tight, close quarters, usually under bark. And those ones tend to be, or those ones, I don't know like how spread around ones that are eusocial are, but the ones that one of my former spider professors studied are in
Mhm.
Delainicantharides are in Australia, huntsman spiders. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if any. I mean, the gosh, what are they called? I forget the genus name. But yeah, they're I don't know if they're eusocial. There are some like other social spiders, but I don't think they're like to the same level of like shared care quite
Yeah.
yet. But there are spiders that like live together as a group. Several different lineages of spiders do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, they do put masks on the dinosaur sculptures around Pittsburgh, which they have to, I assume, make a giant mask for Dippy. That it's a Diplodocus, like that's outside our museum, and someone has to like go up on a ladder. Like normally he has like a changing scarf that like changes like throughout the
Oh,
year, but now they put on a little COVID mask for him, so he's
gotta stay
safe.
safe.
He's got to stay
Yeah.
safe.
Yes, an
Got to
interweb
model good
net.
behavior.
Yeah. All right. So maybe we can wrap it
Are
up
we
now.
wrapping?
I think so.
I did just run out of my spindrift, so
Oh, for good timing. I'm almost done with my second beverage, which was ginger beer.
oh, very nice.
So cheers. Yeah.
Cheers,
It's
except
usually
I
used as a
just took a
mixer
shot.
for other things like beer, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll do that next time.
Um, well, hope
Cool. Great.
people
This was
enjoyed
fun.
this. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's nice to just
Yeah, it
like
was
have
great.
a chat and just talk about spiders.
I agree. Yeah, totally. I agree. Thanks, Frank, for the Golden Squirrel
Oh,
Award.
thank you.
Um, once again, I'll share that any awards that are given on this broadcast, I split with with guests here. So Sebastian and I
Oh,
will
I really appreciate it as well.
cheers. Actually, our next drink might be sponsored. My next ginger beer
Ooh,
maybe will be the one sponsored by the
very good.
broadcast for the next spiders and sips and spiders with Sebastian
Nice.
and Solange.
All right.
Um,
Well, thanks everybody. Hope you had fun.
yeah, thanks
Uh,
everyone for joining.
write down your
And
spider questions for next time.
yeah, and spider stories,
Yeah, anything.
encounters. If you want to send us a spider picture to take a look at, we can
Yeah.
do that on the air
Live
too. Actually,
ID.
I have one little spider story to share actually before we
Okay.
go, which I'm planning on posting on my Instagram soon too. But I took this photo the other day of a spider in my
Ooh.
house.
Oh, that's cool. Is that on a fig?
It's on a blood orange, and
Ooh, cool.
I was just in the house, and Ruman, my husband, was like, "Hey, like, did you put that there? This seems like something you might like do to feed a spider or
Mhm.
something like that."
Yeah.
Because I do sometimes feed the little guests in my house just for fun, see what they'll eat or not eat or things like that. And I was like, "No, I didn't." And I went over and looked to see what he was talking about, and this yellow sac spider
Yeah, okay, that's what it
was
is.
sitting on this slice of blood orange that was on the counter and just chowing down, getting some simple
Hmm.
sugars, which was really cool to
Yeah.
see. I hadn't ever seen that before. So
Yeah, I
it was
haven't seen
eating.
it in
Um,
person either. I've just heard like these reports, and
maybe
at
I
first I didn't believe it. But apparently it's pretty common
uh,
in spiders that like if there's sugar water or like um what would it be, nectar in like a flower, they'll just drink it. I mean, they
yeah.
they can only drink, but if there's sugar water, that's food.
Yeah, a little extra boost, little sugar high,
Why
or
not?
energy. Actually, for
Yeah.
that reason, because I need to find some appropriate sized food for my little spiders that I have, the little jumpers,
Yeah.
I gave them each a little bit of blood orange to see if that
Oh,
might
nice.
give them a little bit of
Give them some moisture at least. Yeah.
sustenance. Yes. So, yeah. All right. Cool. So, ending little story there. Thanks everyone for
Yeah, that
joining
was
us.
great.
Thanks, Sebastian. This was fun. Everyone save the date for April 20th when we will be doing
Round
this again.
two.
Thanks for bringing the spider back on the screen.
Yeah.
And yeah, next up, just so everybody knows, we have Dr. Oliver Keller talking about fireflies. Ask me anything about
Ooh.
fireflies and also how to help them. That's happening next Tuesday, same time as this.
Fireflies
And
are
then,
awesome.
yeah,
I got into that.
totally. And then also on next Thursday, the 25th, regular bug scope time, we are bringing on Dr. Ash, no, not Dr., but Ashley Within, who is a researcher, has her master's over assistant curator over in Scotland, and she studies carrion beetles and other sort of
Ooh. Oh, those are good
beetles,
beetles.
and mostly carrion beetles. So excited
Yeah.
to have her on. All right.
That'll be fun.
Yes. All right. Thanks so much,
Well, take
Sebastian.
care,
Cheers,
everybody.
everybody. Take care.
That was
Till
a
next
blast,
time.
Issa. Thanks for having me.
So much fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.